and playful touching turned into sexual stimulation. I was ready. Ethan was ready. We went up to a room where it was meant for consensual playtime for adults. We chose a couple we felt most comfortable with that night. Welcome back to the Sharing Secrets channel. I would like to start off with a quick PSA. In my opinion, I think we have the best channel on YouTube, giving you guys hot and spicy content every single time. But I need to know, what are your opinions? I want to make this channel the best channel on YouTube. So if you have any recommendations or any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. Please like and share the videos, subscribe, leave comments. Even if you want to rate the video, please leave the rating in the comments. This helps out the channel so much. It shows YouTube that we are an active channel. You know, it's so hard to grow a channel, and I need to know that you guys are enjoying the content in this channel. It also gives me motivation to put out more videos. If you have a story you want featured in our channel, please me an email at sharingsecretschannel@gmail.com. So, back to business. Tonight's story is about Jessica's introduction to the swingers lifestyle. With a little help from her husband, how will she build up the bravery to go forward with her fantasies? Will there be jealousy? Will she regret it? Or will this be a brand new perspective she needed to feel fulfilled? Let's find out. So, grab your partner, grab your wine, dim the lights, and enjoy the story. Tonight's episode is called Introduction to Swingers Lifestyle. I used to think I understood myself. At 26, I believed desire was something you kept folded neatly, like silk tucked in a drawer, brought out only when the lights were low and the world was quiet. I had always felt more, though, a restlessness under my skin, like music waiting for a place to be heard. Sexually, I always been reserved. Kind of vanilla, dirty talk has always been my kinkiest level. Even though at times we tend to push some boundaries but never fully cross the line. But there was some part of me that wanted to see what fantasies crossing that line would unlock. My husband noticed it long before I dared to name it. Ethan had a way of watching me. Not just looking, but seeing. The way my breath caught during certain scenes in films. The way my thoughts seemed to drift somewhere distant when conversations turned intimate. The way I lingered just a second too long in moments charged with possibility. One night, over a glass of wine that tasted like cherries and something deeper, he asked me a question that felt like a door cracking open. "Do you ever wonder," he said softly, "what it would be like to not hold back?" The air shifted, not dramatically, just enough to make everything sharper, more alive. I laughed at first, deflected, but the question stayed. Days passed, then weeks, and slowly, like ink spreading through water, the idea colored everything. I started noticing how often I edited myself, how often I softened my thoughts before speaking them, how often I disguised curiosity as indifference. During my intimate times with Ethan, we started to explore more sexual fantasies that were a little out of what we would call the safe zone. It really started to turn me on. When Ethan brought it up again, it wasn't a question this time. It was an invitation. Not pressure, not expectation, just a possibility. We talked more than we ever had before. Not just about boundaries, but about imagination, about trust, about what it meant to be seen not only as a partner, but as a person still unfolding. And somewhere in those conversations, I realized something quietly startling. I wasn't becoming someone new. I was recognizing someone who had always been there. It's like Ethan knew me. He knew what I wanted before I even realized what I wanted. Ethan set up for us to go to a swingers club. Just to look. Just spice things up. Just to scratch my curiosity itch. At first, I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think I would be brave enough to go through with this. We talked and even included fantasizing some scenarios in our intimate sessions to kind of prepare us for the upcoming night. The first time we stepped into that unfamiliar world, I felt like I was walking a line between two versions of myself. The one I had always presented, and the one that pulsed beneath the surface. My heart raced, not from fear exactly, but from the awareness that I was standing at the edge of something vast and undefined. It wasn't about anyone else, not really. It was about permission. Permission to feel, to explore, to admit that desire wasn't something to tame, but something to understand. Something that could be layered, complex, even beautiful in its intensity. There were moments of uncertainty, of course, moments where I questioned everything, but there were also moments of clarity so sharp they felt like truth breaking through. Like realizing that intimacy isn't just about closeness, it's about honesty. We met multiple couples. We attracted couples like bees to honey that night. They could tell we were new. We drank that night to kind of get the edge off. Ethan knew I needed a few drinks to let loose a bit. Before I knew it, things got wild. Of course, with the constant approval and encouragement of Ethan, I started to flirt with strangers. Flirting turned into playful touching, and playful touching turned into sexual stimulation. I was ready. Ethan was ready. We went up to a room where it was meant for consensual playtime for adults. We chose a couple we felt most comfortable with that night. As we entered the room, I felt the butterflies in my stomach. I felt nervous, but in a good way. We started slow, kissing and touching with each other's partners. Soft play for a while before we started removing our clothes. While I was pleasuring another man, I can hear and see Ethan receiving the same pleasure. While I was being pleasured and penetrated for the first time in front of Ethan, I felt an explosion of pleasure fulfillment I didn't know I could feel. Ethan never let go of my hand through any of it, even when we weren't physically touching. There was a steadiness in him that grounded me. A quiet reassurance that this wasn't about losing each other. It was about discovering how expansive connection could be. And me? I stopped holding back. I stopped pretending my thoughts were simpler than they were. I let myself feel the full depth of my own curiosity and found that it wasn't something to fear. It was something to navigate, carefully, thoughtfully, but without shame. That night was the best nights of my life, not because of the overdose of sexual pleasure, but because a new version of me was born. Finally let out her cage. I got to see her, experience her finally discovering what it felt to be real. Sometimes I think back to that earlier version of me, the one who thought desire had edges, limits, rules carved in stone. I wish I could tell her this. You are deeper than you think. And that depth isn't something to hide from. It's meant to be explored. Well, that's the end of tonight's episode. Did you guys enjoy this story? If you guys want more details, or a follow-up to this, her exciting journey, let me know in the comments. Just write more. Please don't forget to like the video and please subscribe. The more subs this channel gets, the more videos I will put out. Please feel free to share this video to someone you think might like erotica stories. Let's build this channel so more stories can be uploaded. Thanks for listening and see you on the next spicy episode.